So onto the cloth pads, I'm going to start out talking about wearing, cleaning, and storing. I store my pads in my bathroom linen closet in this shoebox. When I'm wearing them, if I'm at home and I need to change, I will throw the dirty one into this little trash can that I got at the dollar store. And I like this lid because it lets you get airflow to them. If you have an airtight container, that's where the smells will come from. People are worried about the smell. I have never had a smell problem ever, but I would say if you have an animal, make sure this isn't just sitting, like if you have a dog, don't let this just sit out because dogs are attracted to the smell. They can smell it, and I've heard of people, even just disposable pads, their dogs just ripping them apart. So make sure they are like under the bathroom sink, and especially if you're living with other people and you don't want them to see it. Under the bathroom sink is fine, that's where I have mine. So I'll put the dirty ones in here and just put on a new pad. Washing. A lot of people do some really complicated things, and I am really lazy and I do not want to do all this washing. Some people, after they wear them, they'll rinse them off and then put them in their bucket or their wet bag, which I'll explain in a bit. I don't do that. I take mine off, I fold them in half like this, and stick them in the bucket until the end of my cycle. At the end of my period, the next time I do laundry, I have this bucket, this tub, and I have this oxy cleaner that I bought at the dollar store. I'll put a scoop of this into this, put in a little bit of warm water, swish it around until the oxy cleaner dissolves, fill it up the rest way with cold water. You want to use cold water because hot water will set the stains, and as you can see, this is a white pad. I've got no stains on it. I've never had a staining problem. This stuff works so good. It's from the dollar store. You can use regular oxy cleaner, whatever, works amazing. In the bucket, like after I fill it up, I'll put all the soiled pads into this tub on laundry day or the night before. Let them soak. I'll either leave it for an hour or overnight. And if I leave it for an hour, I like to dump out the water and do it again just to freshen the water because the water will get dirty. So after they have soaked, I'll rinse out the bucket, I'll wring them out, and I'll just throw them in with my regular laundry because they're not dirty anymore. You just have to wash them the rest of the way. Usually by that point the stains have gone. I know my friend, she said she just uses her regular Gain cleaner and hasn't had any problems with staining at all, but I just am worried and I'm just used to using the oxy cleaner now and I've never had any problems. So, and then also about the bucket, when you're in public and you have to change your pad, you'll usually have something that's called a wet bag with you. Sometimes they have two sides, some for a clean pad and a dirty pad side. They're usually made out of a fabric called PUL. I don't have one because I don't use one, but if you want one, you can get one. They're usually on Etsy. Go to the bathroom to change your pad in public, and you'll take off your dirty pad, you'll fold it up just like this, snap it together all small, and put it into your wet bag, zip it up, and that way the soiled pad is covered and in a bag away from everything else. I've never had any problems with pads like leaking out. I think this is mostly for people who rinse them after wearing them, but I don't do that. I keep mine dry until I go to remove the stains. So you'll put your dirty pad into the wet bag and put on a new one, and easy as that. When you get home, empty your wet bag into your trash can and you're good to go. So you don't have to worry about it in public. A lot of people are like, what do you do with your pad when you're out? You just stick it in your purse? No, there's bags for it. I actually just use a makeup bag, an old makeup bag that I had, and I'll just stick the dirty pads in it. Sometimes I just fold them up like this because, again, I've never had a problem with the blood coming off of the pad. So yeah, and some people will take a regular bag that they have and put a Ziploc in it, but I wouldn't recommend closing up the Ziploc if you do that because then you don't get airflow again, and that's where smells come from. But I've never had a smell problem. And if you do smell something, it's probably like iron or the natural smell of your body, which you aren't smelling before you used reusable stuff, because what you're smelling on disposable pads is actually the blood reacting with whatever is in the disposable pad. That's why regular pads and tampons are stinky if they are stinky. Onto my stash, I have a lot more than I actually need now because I have a cup. Some people need more because their periods are heavier, some people need less. Some people will wash more often, so they'll use less. And there's a lot of different fabrics you can use. I will link the sewing group down below if you want to sew your own or you want to figure out what fabric is best for you. In the Facebook groups, they're really friendly. Any questions you have, just ask. And a lot of people will comment and anything that you want to know. There's files on these groups that will also help you figure out what you need. So I'm going to start off showing you my liners. Most of my pads are cotton. I have this one Minky fabric. Minky is a really soft fabric, like really soft. I can't even explain how soft this is. I don't use this pad because it's so tiny. It's only 6 inches. I got it free with a Pink Lemonade shop order. They sent me this little mini liner. I actually use this for my cup spot. After I wash my cup out, I stick it on this. But I just wanted to show you guys Minky. I think Minky would actually get really hot, so if you live in somewhere where it's hot, I wouldn't recommend Minky. I like cotton. Most people say it's the hardest to get stains out of, but I've never had a problem with staining again. And also my pads, most of them are sewn by myself because I didn't want to buy pads. That's the one downside of these things, is they are really expensive, but you're only paying for it one time because you never have to pay for them again. Like disposables, you have to buy them every month. But anyway, some of these are sewn really bad because I hand sew and I sew them by myself and I don't know how to sew. But this is just an 8-inch liner. It's got a cotton top and a flannel back. And most of my pads are cotton topped with flannel back. And my insides are always, the ones that I sew, the inside is always terry toweling, 100% cotton terry toweling. That's like your bath towels, and flannel, which is like flannel pajamas. Everyone knows what flannel is, I think. I have another one, which is, I sewed this one so cute. It took me so long to sew, but it came out so cute. It's just got flannel here and then cotton for the wings. Then I've got another one of that shape. This is actually my favorite shape with just the rounded edges. Just another liner. And another one like this. And then these two were actually sewn for me in a trade group. That's another group I will link down below. If you don't want to have to buy pads, you can say, I've got this hat I don't want anymore. Someone want to trade it for a couple pads for me. Like, it's completely trade. You don't have to buy. You just pay the shipping to trade the item. And I actually traded the wet bag that I did have for 3 pads. I got 2 liners and a regular, and she sewed me these 2 little monsters. They're so cute. They have flannel backs. And then I have this one. This is one of the first ones I ever sewed. I took a pad that I used to wear and then just adjusted it to a cloth pad shape. This is really bad. I hardly ever wear this one, but eh. And then I have this one, which is really wide. Sometimes I like to wear those boxer short types of underwear, and because this one is so wide, it will sit down the legs of the boxer short underwears, so they're really long. And yeah, they're just really comfortable. I usually only wear this like the very last day or the day after my period, just for that little bit of extra. So just so I can be comfortable. And then my regular flow pads. This is the regular flow that that woman sewed for me. Flannel back. It's got I think 2 or 3 layers of terry toweling on the inside. And then this one that's falling apart that I sewed a long time ago. It's got terry toweling and flannel on the inside. And this one is so cute. All of my pads are, again, they're just cotton topped. I found this fabric at Hobby Lobby. It's so cute. It's a little giraffe. It looks like a little cartoon. Like, I did the stitching right here really big. And it's just so cute. And this is my favorite shape. That's the other good thing about cloth pads. You can get whatever shape you want, especially if you make them yourself. Like, say you bleed right here, you could make a pad that goes like this. Like, that's the great thing about these. You can find so many different shapes and sizes that people make, and it's amazing. I keep saying that, but they're completely customizable to you, and that's the best thing about them. So this one is a cheetah print. My grandma sent me this fabric. I just put flannel in the back. This is a sock monkey one. I kind of made this one too thin right here, but it's still cute. These 4 are more of the ones that I made when I first started. They're just really like this one's super chunky and ugly, and I hardly ever wear these ones anymore, but they were my starter pads that I first started with. And then this last one is just another sock monkey one, but of this shape. Then onto my heavy pads. Oh, I also wanted to point out another thing. Nobody will know you're on your period if you don't want them to know, because there's no noise. They won't hear the crinkling, they won't hear the ripping, they won't hear the whatever of the packaging. The only thing people will hear in the bathroom, if they even hear it, is the snapping. That's it. That's the only thing people will hear, and that could be your pants, you know. There's no noise anymore. Anyway, onto my heavies. This is a 10-inch heavy pink lemonade pad. This is one of the few that I actually bought because I love pink lemonade pads. I forget what their absorbency material is, but their backing is this really amazing WindPro, I think, WindPro fleece, and it's actually water resistant. It's not waterproof, it's water resistant. If you drip water onto it, the water will just bead up on top, so you won't leak through it. I've never leaked through it. It's a heavy pad. There are other fabrics, which I will get to on the next pad, that are completely water resistant, but I like the fleece because it's breathable and it's also kind of grippy. Some people have a problem with this next fabric slipping on their underwear, and this won't slip. I would recommend snug underwear. Most people wear kind of snug undies when they're on their period anyway. So this is just really cute. It's got kitties on it. I love it. Then these next two actually came in a 3-pack for $15 or $18. I can't remember. I gave one to a friend. These are PUL. You can hear it. It's completely water resistant. I don't exactly know how to explain the fabric, but they use it in cloth diapers. It's just, I don't know how to explain this, but it's completely leak resistant. You will not leak through this. These are just, I think these have terry toweling on the inside. They are 10 inches, I think 10 inches, and they're just cute. They got monsters and this maroon top on them. I bought them off of Etsy. They aren't selling them anymore, so I can't list them or I can't link them for you, but if you can find a 3-pack on Etsy, that's a good thing to buy if you're starting out. Yeah, so I like these ones. These next 3 are some heavies that I made for myself. They were the first time I had ever gotten fleece to use, so they're kind of thick and chunky and badly sewn, but I did it myself by hand, so I'm pretty proud. And they're also really long. This one is just a cookie fabric, because you know you crave cookies when you're on your period and you just want to make it worse for yourself. So it's cookies, and they look really long. They're 14 inches, 13.5, I don't remember. And I made them that long because I tend to bleed in a line, and sometimes it'll only go in the front and sometimes it will go away in the back, so I like to have really long pads. And again, I only wear these comfy ones at home, really, so they're just so comfortable. I don't know what it is about it, but I like to just throw on a pair of sweats or leggings and a comfy pad and just sit around, lounge around at home, and it's just so comfortable and amazing. It's just a nice feeling not having that ugly, diapery, crinkly thing in your pants while you're on your period. It's so much nicer. I've also got this butterfly and bug clock fabric, and then I've got this aquarium one, which is really pretty. Again, these have terry toweling and flannel on the inside. And then these 3 are a set I bought off of eBay. It was 3 for $18. These are 12-inch overnights. I can link these ones down below. I would recommend these for people starting out, because if you don't want to spend a lot of money. They are kind of wide and bulky because the wings, it's like a square shape, so the wings can get kind of bulky on your underwear, and if they are too wide for you, they can kind of bunch up in your underwear. But again, they're comfy for overnight. For me, I like them. And I don't remember what the absorbency fabric is called. I think it's something with bamboo, and I know that bamboo is antibacterial if you're worried about that. Yeah, again, these are really cheap and comfortable for at home or if you have a heavy flow. They have PUL on the back. I just have this fabric. This one with butterflies and flowers and stuff, and this cute one with owls. This one's actually fuzzy. And this seller has a bunch of different sizes, different fabrics, and all that fun stuff, and they're super cheap, so I will link this seller down below. And then for some ultra overnight pads. For some reason my period stopped doing this, but when it was heavier, for some reason at night I would bleed. If I laid on my stomach, I would bleed really far in the front, and if I laid on my back, I would actually bleed all the way up my butt crack. Like, it would just travel its way back, and I would stain my bed and my underwear, and it was just really sad. So I made these really long pads. I think this one is 16 inches, and it just completely covers up my backside. Wesley calls it a beaver tail because it looks like a little beaver tail. My period doesn't do this anymore. I kind of stopped bleeding at night, and I don't know why, but I still like to wear them because it's reassuring. But I also have these two, which I made with my fleece, my black fleece. This one is really long. I don't remember how long this one is, but it's galaxy, planet print, and then another flower one. So I still wear these ones overnight, but I don't really need to. I just like the comfort of them. That's my whole stash, and I would recommend, if you're starting out a stash, to not buy all of your pads from one place. You want to buy one here and there, test it out, figure out what you like, or even make them yourself. How you like to wash them, so you can figure out what kind of fabrics are best for you. It might take a while to build up an entire stash, but you will, and it will all be perfect. And I have not had, I kind of want to buy a pad still because I like the cute fabrics. This is a problem people have. They buy too many pads and it gets addicting because they're just so cute and you never want to stop. But the whole point is to not have to spend money on pads or tampons anymore. So yeah, it takes a while to build up a stash, but once you do, it's amazing, and I am in love. So I hope I covered everything. I hope I made sense. Make sure you check out Bree's channel because she has so many videos on all of these different things. And if you have any questions for me, just comment them down below and I'll try to answer. And I hope you have a comfortable period. I will see you guys later. Bye-bye! I just wanted to show you guys really quick. This is what it looks like when I have all of my pads in their little shoebox, and then this just goes into my towel closet. Yay!